Hello Internet, my name is Billy, and this is your guide to the Ventureverse, a YouTube series in which I look at each episode of the Venture Brothers and give a brief synopsis, point out interesting facts, talk about its place in the greater canon of the show, and finish it off with some personal thoughts about the episode. In today's episode, we will discuss Season 1, Episode 10 of the Venture Brothers. Are you there, God? It's me, Dean. This episode first aired on October 2nd, 2004. Let's get into it. When the episode begins, the Venture family has been captured by the Monarch. Suddenly, Dean cries out in pain, and it turns out that due to a bureaucratic guild law, Rusty's Law, the Monarch has to let the family go so that Dean can seek medical care. Monarch begrudgingly agrees and takes Hank and Brock as collateral. Dean, it turns out, has testicular torsion, a real-life condition in which the spermatic cord that brings blood to the testicles gets twisted. Dr. Venture reaches out to the only doctor he knows for assistance.
Billy's more of a neurogeneticist.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the cocoon, we get a glimpse at the sad day-to-day existence of the Monarch. The episode title, Are You There, God? It's Me, Dean, is a reference to the book, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, by Judy Blume, about a girl in the 6th grade going through puberty. And the condition that Dean deals with in this episode actually happened to Doc Hammer in his youth. He explains in the Art and Making of the Venture Brothers book. I was probably out of ideas at this point, so I dug back into my own personal shame. That one was me. I had testicular torsion. It was like a fucking weird nightmare where my balls spun around and I had to get them unspun. Everything that Billy says is what a doctor said to me. Pete is playing a video game in this scene. He specifically references doing a drive-by mission for the Yardies, which was the name of a gang in Grand Theft Auto 3. I had always assumed that the Zuni fetish doll that Dr. Orpheus gave to Dean was some kind of generic fertility idol. It wasn't until I popped it into Google that I found out it's actually from a movie called Trilogy of Terror, in which a fetish doll inhabited by the spirit of a Zuni warrior tries to kill a woman in her apartment. Furthermore, I never knew that fetish meant something other than an unusual sexual predilection. In this context, it means an object infused with supernatural powers. The more you know. This is the first time that Billy and Pete referenced the name of their company.
Conjectural Technologies.
The Guild of Cherished Intent was referenced in passing back in Homeland Security.
Don't we need to file an article of collusion with the Guild of Calamitous Intent first?
But we really get into some good guild lore in this episode. Hank reads from a guild handbook, and Dr. Venture himself has a law named after him, establishing that the guild has been around for quite some time. Hank says that he was put in a stinky old jail cell the last time he was at the cocoon, which is a callback to the Season 1 premiere when Hank and Dean were in a stinky old jail cell. Canonically, this is a really important episode as it really gets into the Guild of Calamitous Intent for the first time, but this is another Season 1 episode that's in my bottom half of Season 1 episodes. Regardless of what else happens in this episode, this is the episode where Dean has to get his balls operated on. And that, as a one-sentence synopsis, has never really appealed to me. I'd probably downright hate it as a story if I didn't know that it actually did happen to Doc Hammer when he was a kid. Otherwise, it would just kind of feel like making Dean go through a medical procedure because, hey, balls are funny. The less remembered part of this episode, Hank and Brock at the cocoon and getting a peek into the Monarch's day-to-day sad existence, I like quite a bit. The mundane mixed with the Saturday morning cartoon stuff, that right there is my Venture Brothers sweet spot. As always, thank you for watching and go Team Venture. Tune in next week for Past Tense. If you dug this video, share it with a friend. And if there was some huge glaring thing that I missed in this video, subscribe to my Patreon to see these videos a week early and offer your input before I upload the final product.